you ever felt that what you do in society defines who you are? Let's say your job as a teacher, a policeman, a doctor, a businessman, etc. Yet, it limits you to what you think you can do, what you know you are capable of doing. Now, did it ever come to mind that yes, your role in society is rather important? It's essential to keep the balance in society, but you still feel very replaceable. Now, with this, let's imagine a world where everybody lives in a machine where everybody has a distinct purpose that keeps everything in balance and perfectly sync. But in this world, no one is truly free as their own. Let's use a computer as a machine, for example. A computer functions with its parts doing their roles, keeping the computer from running. Now, none of those parts define them, none of those parts define the computer itself. Those parts rather define the whole computer as a whole. Now, in this, those parts are rather easily replaceable, yet the computer would still function the same even with the parts replaced. Now, this is the world of Èmile Durkheim. He has envisioned a world where there is harmony and specialization and engaging in the societal contract. Now let's start with the very basics. Durkheim believes that societies evolve. He believes that we become more complex and that we gain interdependence with each other. We don't lose that connection. Everybody does a specific role because we need each other. That is what he calls the organic solidarity. Back in the early societies for mechanical solidarity, the bond of sameness that keeps people together. They share the same work, they share the same religion, they share the same beliefs, routines, etc. But in the modern life, it's our differences that keeps us together. We rely on those differences that we hold. Now let's say you as a person, you are different from I am. You hold a rather different set of skills that I will benefit of. I will rely on you because I know that I will benefit from your skills. It's our differences that holds us together. Now, unlike philosophers like Thomas Hobbes or John Locke, who thinks society is a social contract, or Karl Marx, who views the labor as a site for exploitation, Èmile Durkheim offers a more moral and optimistic view on society. He emphasizes specialization. He argued that it's not just about economic, it is social, it is ethical, and it is the glue of modern society. Though it sounds rather hopeful, but let's dig deeper to the division of labor. Now, this leads us to the cracks or flaws of Èmile Durkheim's theory. Now, Durkheim's theory provides us a powerful tool that helps us realize that society isn't just about politics or markets, it's about the moral structure. Now, his concepts of anomie or normlessness, it still explains a lot about our modern society, modern anxiety, and alienation. But here is where his theories fall short. Durkheim assumes that the division of labor naturally leads to fairness, that the people would find their proper roles based on their abilities, based on the things that they can do. Let's say you are good at teaching, then you are, of course, you are capable of being a teacher. You are suited to teach. Now, we know that the that yet again that is not true. We still see upon race, gender, and class. These still determine who gets what job, regardless of what merit they have. The system isn't neutral. That is why this became a flawed from Durkheim's theory, because not just because you have this ability, the society will naturally put you in that position, because we all know that there is discrimination to us if you are in the race that they are not particularly in favor of. Even if you are skilled of being a teacher, you are still not fit for what they want. Secondly, Durkheim believes that interdependence would create solidarity among us. But in today's labor market, it often creates disconnection rather than the connection. Think about the gig economy. You might deliver food to someone that you will never know, managed by an algorithm that you will never understand. Now, is that solidarity or is that just survival? Third, he trusted the institutions like the state to regulate the things and prove it to be morally fair. But if we look around to our states, to our world today, inequality is growing, racism, social safety nets are fraying, the institutions does not keep up with the complexity of labor system. Yes, Durkheim named the anomic and forced divisions of labor as problems, but he treated them like exceptions. Today, they feel more like the rule. So, is this theory of Durkheim still relevant up to this day? Is it still relevant? A question asked by many. Well, absolutely. His ideas still helps us understand why we feel like we don't belong in hyper-specialized world, why our mental health struggles rise even as our material wealth grows. It helps us see why people seek meaning beyond their work. But we also have to move beyond him. We need a theory that includes power and inequality, that acknowledges how capitalism can distort the labor process. We need to ask not just, are we specialized, but are we fulfilled? Are you valued? Today's society is more interconnected than Durkheim ever imagined, but it's also more about fragmented. The digital life gives us new forms of communication and new kinds of isolation. The division of labor is still here, but solidarity, that becomes our task to build. Finally, Durkheim gave us a grand vision that society could thrive through diversity and interdependence. But he also left us a challenge to make sure that labor serves not just the economy, but the soul of society. So the question isn't whether the specialization is bad. The question is, what kind of society are we building with it? More importantly, who gets to build it? Thank you very much. I'm Christian Lloyd Caro. Thanks for having me.